Okay, I know I put it at the start of the video, but I just want to say it again. Okay, I didn't have $80, so so I just kind of did my best. But I know that some of the arts are wrong in this. This is probably the most glaring one right here, besides the Jirachi. But yeah, so you get this one right here, not the promo one. I just kind of threw what Necrozma I had in here, and yeah. But anyway, so what's going on, guys? You're watching Epic Pokemon TCG. In today's video, guys, what I have for you, we're gonna be taking a look at a list you can build if you buy two of the Battle Arena and Ultra Necrozma decks. And yeah, if you guys do enjoy the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Also, if you guys have any questions on what could be cards you need to go after, what cards you need to pick up if you want to improve upon this deck, I will actually be including a Ultra Necrozma deck profile at the end of this video, so you guys can go check that out and just see like what like an actual Necrozma deck might look like. It actually, to be honest with you, it isn't too far off from this just because of how great the Battle Arena decks are. And if you're a player that, or if you're someone that's just wanting to get into the Pokemon TCG card game and you're not wanting to spend a lot of money, I highly recommend the Battle Arena decks just because they're so good and they give you like actual competitive stuff to play with. And if you're curious which one you want to pick up or which one should you pick up, I definitely recommend this one right here. You get Jirachi, you get all kinds of just fantastic stuff in this deck, so that's 100% the one you need to pick up. But another thing, I apologize that I took a week off. I just needed some time to recharge and get everything going back. But that kind of segues perfectly. Speaking of recharge, we're gonna be taking a look at Malamar here, kicking the deck profile off. So Malamar has Psychic Recharge. Once during your turn before you attack, you may attach a Psychic Energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. And this is gonna be the card that's gonna keep your deck functioning. It's gonna get it working. Just kind of, your Ultra Necrozma literally discards all of its Psychic Energy whenever you attack with it, and so you can just Psychic Recharge all those energy back onto one of your bench Pokemon. And we have means to switch your Ultra Necrozma and get it back onto the bench and such. But Malamar is a 4/4 line just because there really isn't anything that can help you like recycle your Pokemon and stuff now that's like super consistent. Like Brock's Grit's a thing, obviously, but most decks don't play Brock's Grit anymore. Some do, but not too many. So yeah, we have a 4/4 line there. And next we're going to take a look at Ultra Necrozma GX. So it has Photon Geyser for 20, and then you discard all basic psychic energy from this Pokemon, and this attack does 80 more damage for each card you discarded this way. You guys are going to see it after the deck profile, but I actually was facing off against the Mewtwo Mew deck, and unfortunately, my computer froze, but I was able to one-shot a Mewtwo Mew GX in that gameplay, and that was going to be the game, and then my laptop just messed up. But it also has Scorching Light GX or Sky Scorching Light GX. And pretty much you can only use this attack if the total of both players' remaining prize cards is 6 or less, but you put 6 damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon. So obviously this is going to be a late to mid game thing, and this is either going to finish off some Pokemon or soften them up for game. It's a very situational GX attack, but it's not too bad. But most of the time you're going to be using Photon Geyser. It's a really good card here just because you can dish out some high amounts of damage with Ultra Necrozma. And next we're going to take a look at Giratina. So Giratina probably is the best and most consistent Malamar attacker there is, just because its ability means it just never goes away. Distortion Door, once during your turn before you attack, if this Pokemon is in your discard pile, and trust me guys, there's plenty of ways to get this sucker in there, you may put it onto your bench, and if you do, you put 1 damage counter on 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So, like I said, there's ways to discard this and get it into the bench, and or get it to the discard pile. And then whenever it is in the discard pile, if it's like knocked out, you just put it right back on, psychic recharge, and you're good to go. But its attack is actually pretty good too. Shadow Impact for 130, you put 4 damage counters on one of your Pokemon. I don't recommend doing it on Ultra Necrozma unless you absolutely have to, because that's just allowing your opponent to get 2 free prizes a little easier if you just kind of soften up your own Pokemon like that. So I would definitely recommend putting on a Malamar, because if Malamar is getting promoted and drug up onto the active spot, they're more likely going to knock it out anyway. Or you can do it on Jirachi, or another Giratina. But I definitely don't recommend it on Ultra Necrozma. But if you Distortion Door, like let's just say Reshizard once, and you Shadow Impact it twice and they don't heal, that's a knockout. And it's only giving up 1 prize, and it's just a recyclable attacker. As recyclable, is that even a word? Right? Yeah, that's a word. It's currently 9 in the morning. I'm running on no sleep. But anyway, so yeah, it's just a card you can just kind of keep getting back and attacking with, and it's just really good. And speaking of really good, we have Jirachi. So Jirachi alone, I think, makes this whole thing worth it just because of how great a card Jirachi is. So we see this in all kinds of decks, and this card really shines in Ultra Necrozma just because Stellar Wish can help you search out stuff that is just really helpful for this deck. And what Stellar Wish does, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck and you choose a trainer card you find there, which can grab you a item card, a supporter, or a stadium, which is really nice. And then you shuffle the other cards back into your deck, and this Pokemon is now asleep. But we have plenty of ways to get Jirachi out of the active spot, skateboard being one. I'll get to that card here in a minute. But Jirachi is just honestly going to be in here to kind of either grab one of your searching cards, it's going to grab your stadium, or it's going to grab your supporters. That way you can kind of get your turn functioning. And whenever you do lose a Pokemon, like something gets knocked out, you want to promote Jirachi with a skateboard, Stellar Wish, grab like an item card or something, or a supporter or whatever, and then Psychic Recharge and retreat it. That's pretty much like the standard run of the mill turn you're going to have, or you want to have. And whenever I was building this deck, I really had to like kind of increase some cards in this deck, like throw some extra copies in here just to kind of fill numbers. And Jirachi was a card that I definitely did not mind running four of, just because you want to start with that little dude because it's so helpful. But for supporters, I decided to throw in a Brock's Grit. This is a card that like sees some play, but not too much. But it just allows you to shuffle six in any combination of Pokemon and basic energy cards into your deck. And I figured like you can shuffle in your Malamar line, you can shuffle in your Metal Energy. So I was like, why not? We'll run one. But we also that's my alarm going off. Anyway, pardon me. But we have a Cynthia in here, just allows you to get a fresh hand of six. And then we have Erica's Hospitality. Now, this is a card that I actually recently started using again, and I forgot just how good it was. So you can only play this card if you have fewer four cards in your hand, other cards in your hand, excuse me, and then you just draw cards from each of your opponent's Pokemon in play. So if you have like a low hand size and your opponent's got like five Pokemon on the field, you can draw like additional five cards, 4 or 5 cards. It's really, really nice. And then we also have Lily. Now, when a new supporter role hits, this won't be as good, but right now it's a fantastic card. Just draw till you have six, and if it's your first turn, you can draw till you have eight, which is really nice. And then we have a card that I actually kind of skimmed over and didn't even really think about it until like I was really looking at the cards trying to figure out like what I want to put in here. And that's Tate Liza. So Tate Liza obviously is going to serve a couple purposes in this deck. The first one is going to be it's a hand refresher. It's not as good as Cynthia, but it's still five. It's a pretty respectable amount. But it's also a switching card. Now, switching is pretty big in Malamar decks just because you want to be able to have your retreat ready for the turn so that way you can Psychic Recharge, retreat your active, and bring up the Pokemon that you used Psychic Recharge on. So it's just in here for another switching card, which is really helpful. And then now we're going to get to the item cards. So the first one we're going to take a look at is going to be Acrobike. Now Acrobike is really good because it just allows you to kind of go through your deck a little quicker. You look at the top two cards of your deck, you choose one, and the other one goes into the discard pile. So you have the potential to hit a Psychic Energy and put it in the discard pile and just grab whatever other card you want. You can grab like Pokemon or something. Just the possibilities are endless, which is really nice. Also, you can potentially hit like a good card and a dead card. You don't need any more of the matchup. You can get rid of that. Acrobike's just in here for that extra consistency. And then on top of that, we have searching cards in here. Mysterious Treasure, you discard a card from your hand, and if you do, you can search your deck for a Psychic or Dragon Pokemon, reveal it, and put it in your hand. This card can grab you everything except for Jirachi, which is really nice. And that discard effect can also allow you to put a Psychic Energy into your discard pile for Psychic Recharge, which is really nice. But this is definitely in here just to kind of help your consistency and help you get some Pokemon to your hand. And then we also have Pokemon Communication. Now we run 3 Giratina, 3 Ultra Necrozma GX. We run a 4/4 Malamar line. We run 4 Jirachi. So there's definitely plenty of targets in here you can use for Pokemon Communication. You reveal a Pokemon in your hand, put it in your deck, and then if you do, search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it, and put it in your hand. So you can put it like a Jirachi back and grab an Inkay, just whatever. So this is definitely a really good card. Also, this is one of the cards like late to mid game that I'll start pitching for like Viridian Forest or something. So really good card. Speaking of Viridian Forest, here it is. Now this card actually is a lot better in this than like a normal run-of-the-mill Malamar deck, just because like whenever you discard a card from your hand, you can grab your Metal Energy straight out of your deck, so you can start attacking with Necrozma, which is really nice. But another thing that this card actually serves a purpose on is going to be just a counter stadium. This is a really good counter stadium card because you can just knock your opponent's stadium out, and then boom, there you go, you have yours. Also, you can pitch psychic energies, insert psychic energies. That way, you can psychic recharge, and then you can also pitch stuff you don't need anymore in the game. So, like if you have pretty much like a setup field, and you don't need mysterious treasure, or you don't need Jirachi, you don't need communications or something like that, you can just start discarding those, getting them out of the way, just in case you get hit by like a reset stamp or something or a judge. So, Viridian Forest is going to serve some purposes in here, and that's one of them right there. It's just getting your metal energy, and that's probably like the most important one. But we also have some switching cards here to go along with Tate and Liza. I decided to go for 3 switch. I figured, why not run 3 switch? Switch is pretty nice in Malamar decks just because Just allows you to switch into like a Jirachi, Psychic Recharge, Stellar Wish, get your hand built back up, and then you get to retreat and start attacking again. So I was like, we're gonna run 3 switch. And then we have 2 skateboard. So the retreat cost of the Pokemon this card is attached to is 1 less, and it can retreat even if it's asleep or paralyzed. They might as well just call this a skateboard parentheses attached to Jirachi. I mean, that's honestly what this card should be. It's really helpful. It just takes down everything by 1. So, I mean, you get like a 1 retreat cost Ultra Necrozma. Malamar goes down by 1. Jirachi goes down by 1. Inkay goes down by 1. Giratina, yeah, you get the point. Jirachi and Inkay are going to allow you to have free retreaters, which is really nice. I've had to unfortunately throw a skateboards onto Inkay before, which yeah, it's not the ideal Pokemon you would be throwing that on. But the energy in here is actually pretty simple. I think this is actually what I run in my Ultra Necrozma deck, my like real one. But Beast Energy, this is just going to allow you to do additional 30 damage. HPs nowadays are just huge, so that means that additional 30. You never know when that might come in clutch. This card's only going to go on Ultra Necrozma because it's your only Ultra Beast. But still, I mean, just you throw it on there. You might not need like a energy or something, or maybe you're like short 10 damage, just whatever. Beast Energy can just kind of help you out there with some numbers. And then we have 2 Metal Energy. I actually thought about bumping it to 3, but I figure since we have Brock's Grit, it should be okay. And then we also have the Beast Energy just in case. And then we're going to round out the deck with these beautiful, amazing, awesome, sexy, holographic Psychic Energies. We run 7 of those. So this is pretty much your typical run-of-the-mill Malamar deck. And to be honest with you guys, the games I've played with it, it's actually pretty consistent, and I have a gameplay to showcase you guys, how to play the deck a little bit. It's kind of a one-sided matchup because unfortunately my opponent didn't get much, but it really showcases how to play this deck, and I'm going to try to get the Rayquaza one up as soon as possible. I'm actually working on that too as we speak. But yeah, there's the list, guys. You can definitely take it and tweak it however you would want to, but this is just kind of like a rough draft of what you can build if you buy 2 of the Battle Arena decks. But anyway, guys, I'll see you in the gameplay, and let's get to it.
I love when I'm getting a really good gameplay. My laptop just freezes. Like, look at that. Like nothing. Nothing.
All right, I'm gonna be honest with you. This video has pretty much drove me insane. I keep having error after error after error. Hopefully this is it. But anyway, so here's the gameplay, guys. So this was originally supposed to be a live commentary, and for some reason my voice didn't get recorded, and then I made a commentary, and it recorded my laptop mic, not this mic. So yes, here we are again. And I pretty much had to do the entire video over again, just minus the gameplay. But yeah, so anyway, I'm getting an absolutely amazing turn 1. I get the turn 1 Lily. I get to grab 7 cards here. I got 2 NK, I got an Ultra Necrozma and all that. But there was something that I noticed on my opponent's side of the field that was pretty scary, and that was that Vulpix. Because that Vulpix turns into the Ninetales that can drag Pokemon up off the bench, which is Malamar's worst possible scenario, because they could just bring up Malamar, knock it out, and then I don't have Psychic Recharge, so yeah. But the reason why I went with this gameplay isn't because I absolutely smacked the guy into the dirt. It's because this really showcased how to play this deck and what to do with it. It showed you like different combinations of cards and different things you can do with the cards and such. And overall, with the games that I've played with this deck, it's actually been pretty consistent. And I am just sitting here crossing my fingers, hoping this is the commentary that goes up. I'm hoping that I just put my outro on this video and I just save it, and that's it. My nightmare's over. I'm hoping. But unfortunately, with that little mishap with the first game where I was playing against the Mewtwo Mew deck, not only did I miss out on like the perfect game, and it was like the first game that I played with this deck, um, it snapped my 5 win streak here on Pokemon TCG Online, which is like what pretty much like that's I don't know, that's just like my biggest thing as a player. Like that's what makes me who I am is those 5 wins on Pokemon TCG Online. I don't know, like I think that's funny when people are like, "Yeah, man, check this deck out. It's got 7 wins on Pokemon TCG." All right. Anyway, we're getting off topic here. It is currently 9:30 in the morning. I'm running on no sleep, and I've been at this since 7 in the morning. So yes, it has just been one long recurring nightmare. I should probably talk about the gameplay, shouldn't I? I should probably talk to you guys what I'm doing here. So as you guys just saw, I discarded a Psychic Energy with Viridian Forest to search out a Psychic Energy, and I'm sitting here Distortion Door here, and getting back to what I was talking about, this is actually pretty perfect. So I put a damage counter on that Reshizar, and I'm going to put one on that Vulpix just because why not? And now if I attack that twice with Giratina, that is going to be a KO, and I mean, the prize trade is going to be in my favor, which is really nice. So overall, I think this is actually a really good deck. I'm really comfortable with how this list is. I think this is the best option, and I had to play this game a little differently than normal because I saw the Vulpix. I didn't want to risk one of my Malamars getting, drug up and I just don't have anything. So I decided to try to go for three Malamars this game, just so if one does get drug up, it's completely fine because I have two others to fall back on. And, that's just kind of like my game plan for this. Right here, I'm going to communication away that Jirachi, grab that Malamar. So now I have two on the field, and unfortunately, I can't start attacking right away, but I'm getting there. I think next turn is when I'm going to start laying down the hurt. And right now, I'm just kind of contemplating: do I want a psychic recharge? Do I want to do that? And I decide I might as well. If something does get drug up off the bench, it's more likely going to be the Malamar, so it's completely fine. My opponent, unfortunately, just did not get anything this match, and that really sucks for him. Another thing that sucked was I had to cut out a significant amount of footage of him just sitting there. He had a couple like minute long just sitting there moments, and I think it was because he just couldn't do anything, and or it was bad connection. I've had those moments where I'm just like sitting there trying to realize like who I made mad in my past lifetime to get the hand that I have at the current moment. I've had those moments before. It's definitely not fun. But I guess I was playing against an ability Reshizard, which is actually a pretty formidable deck. That is a deck that I do not like facing off against with this. Honestly, like overall, I don't really like playing against Reshizard. Period, because when I play the greens version, they hit custom catchers like crazy, and then when I play against the ability one, the nine tail, it's just not fun, guys. It's just not fun. Yeah, like just the games that I got, like this is the one that I really got to showcase what you do with the deck, and that's really unfortunate because my opponent didn't put up much of a fight. I mean, I had another one, it was okay. It was like a mirror match, but it was like the same thing of like my opponent didn't get much, but this gameplay was longer and you got to see more of the deck, so that was yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if I attacked with Ultra Necrozma. I set it up, but I don't think I ever attacked with it. I think I was setting it up just in case I needed to hit one of those Reshizards, at some point. But with there being three Malamar on the field, it's like, yeah, you can attack my Malamar and I can just return it with a big Necrozma, or you can attack my Necrozma and then I can just probably search out another one and then get another one set up. So like there's different like things you could do with this field right now. And overall, like this deck is actually really fun. Like this deck performed better than I thought it would. And that's why like I 100% think that if you want to start the Pokemon TCG and you're looking at like your options, I think getting the Necrozma Battle Arena deck is definitely the deck that you want to go for. I feel like you get way more quality for your money, to be honest with you. And I hope this is something that they keep up. I hope this is like the trend they keep up with like product releases like going into future. And like a card that I would really like to see get made into like a 10 or something like that would be Dedenne GX. I know that might be an unpopular opinion for some people, but I think if they made really good cards like easily accessible, that would be great. I don't know. Like that's just something that I hope to see in the coming future. Because like one of the other cool things about this Battle Arena deck is these cards might go down in price, the Jirachi and Giratina, and I think that they might have already. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. But like if you don't want to go out and spend like $40 or whatever, or like the additional $40, you can buy like one Battle Arena deck and then like just single the rest of it out, which is like definitely a very viable option. Because I think like Ultra Necrozma is only going for like $5 or something like that, and most of them run two anyway. So I think from there it would just be like maybe getting like another Jirachi or two, and then just like maybe like an Esper, just like some other attackers you might want to include into the deck, and just some other cards like Spell Tag and such. But overall, I think this made it really easy for anyone to get into the Pokemon TCG. I've even like wondered what you could build with just like the Battle Arena deck and then the Necrozma theme deck. Like that was something that kind of came through my mind. But yeah, my opponent promotes the Reshizard, and then he just kind of sits on there and just thinks about life, contemplates jumping off the roof of his house, and wonders, what did I do? Like who did I make angry? But this gameplay is coming to a close, guys. There it is. There's the victory. Unfortunately, my opponent didn't do much. I hope you guys don't mind I uploaded a gameplay like that. That was not my intention to upload a gameplay where I just like smacked the dude around because he didn't do anything. I wanted it to be an educational video, but hope you guys did enjoy it nonetheless. Definitely do pick up this product. I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I'm super excited to be back uploading videos. But you're all awesome. Take care. I love you so much, guys. And this is Epic Pokemon TCG signing out.
Don't forget to like, follow, and obey.